It's Saturday night and time for the Modise Network. Dr. Ali Bacher joins us to talk about transformation in sport.
And as a player, I was labeled a quota player for a long time.
This as the nation is still talking about Ashwin Williams' walkout on TV. Plus, James Nobo and Makaula Ndebele will be on the couch as we talk theatre, discussing how live performance in the country has changed over the decades. I'm Tim Modise. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining us for the premiere of the Modise Network. And this is where we talk about the big issues affecting South Africa with the people who can give us a deeper understanding of what's really at play. When rugby commentator and former Springbok Ashwin Williams walked off a live SuperSport broadcast, it started a social media storm about race relations in sport. But sport is meant to unite us all. Nelson Mandela certainly thought it could. So, what's gone wrong? Why is sport dividing us instead of uniting us? Why is transformation not leveling the playing field? Someone who has a great deal of experience on this is Dr. Ali Bacher, a former Test cricket captain for South Africa in the 1960s, and of course in later years, a sports administrator. He joins us this evening. Dr. Ali Bacher.
My pleasure, Tim. Thank you.
And a pleasure to have you as my very first guest on the show.
Honored.
Can you believe it?
Honored, thank you.
Yeah, and as it happened last night, I saw you doing what I'm used to doing, and that is conducting an interview and talking to one of the great cricket legends, AB de Villiers.
Well, look, you know, he's retired. I think an issue around the country, huge disappointment. And the day he made the announcement, I phoned him. I have a very warm relationship with him for many years. And he just said to me, Doc, after 14 years traveling the world, aeroplanes, adulation, away from our family, he made it very clear he's just mentally and physically tired, exhausted. And I think we must give him that space. I mean, for 14 years, the joy, the excitement, the exhilaration he's given to spectators around the world is unbelievable. As a batsman, you know, he averaged more than 15 Test cricket and ODI cricket, in my opinion. We used to have two of the greatest batsmen of all time, Graham Pollock, Barry Richards. In my opinion, and I'm sure I'm right, he was in that lead. And
I realized a lot of cricket fans were a bit disappointed, but I'm sure understanding that the time has come for him to take
it happens to everybody. You can't go on indefinitely, and I think what he's done well, he's got out at the top. So often great sportsmen, they start a bit long, and they start to go downhill, and then people say, get out. Not AB, he's got out at the top, and I think this country must just continue to say thank you for the wonderful experience and times you've given this country.
And besides, I mean, the physical approach to sport, that is the main thing anyway. There's also a question of mental toughness and particular attitudes that you develop over time.
And expectations.
Yeah.
I mean, he is South Africa's best ever ambassador in India. I've watched the IPL, 70,000 people. He goes out to bat. You cannot believe the applause, the joy that they give in supporting AB de Villiers. They love him dearly. So he's done this our country proud, even beyond the cricketing fields.
But here's something, Dr. Bacher. We're going to talk about transformation. I want to talk about your own career at some point. I thought the sports people, personalities are tougher than anybody else, right? Given the tackles, the injuries, whatever else, the expectations on the side of the fans. But these days, I'm beginning to think that it is actually broadcasting that puts more tension on anybody than sports itself, as we saw this past week. Let's take a look at what happened at SuperSport when Ashwin Williams walked out of the studio, and I would like to hear your comments on what transpired there.
See, I think it's important for me because, you know, I've played this game for a long time, like all of us here, I think, you know. And as a player, I was labeled a quota player for a long time. And I've earned hard and worked hard to earn my own respect in this game. So I'm not going to be patronized by two individuals that have played in an apartheid, a segregated era, and come and want to undermine, you know. And so I think for me, I've had my fair share. I can't work with people that undermine other people. And, you know, you can sit and you can laugh about it.
I'm not laughing about it.
But you know exactly what happened. It's fine. It's fine. I don't mind it being ridiculous. I'm glad it happens on air so people can see. Because you two sit here. No, it's fine.
Well, a very sad moment there happening live on television and in a broadcast studio for that matter, not on the field of play. What did you think when you saw this and you read the commentary that followed then?
I think it's an indication of an overall wider political issue in this country at the moment. If you think back to the 90s, the wonderful, wonderful days of Nelson Mandela, where white and black were got together, all right, there were some terrible happenings in apartheid, but they got together to try and unite and form one single beautiful country with all people on the side. If you just look politically, and I'm going beyond here, there's a lot of tensions. I don't know how we resolve it, but I think and hope, almost as a legacy for Nelson Mandela, that we put aside all these black-white differences, get together and forge what should be a great country for all its people.
Well, you have been involved in transformation, and I will talk about the process of it for some extended time later on. But at a personal level, you know, what Ashwin is talking about is being referred to as a quota player. Did you ever come across cricketers who felt that they did not like to be seen as quota players and that had something to do with their mental attitude and toughness?
Look, quota is a controversial issue in 2018. I was very strongly supportive when I was involved in South African cricket, particularly at schools level. I think you must do everything possible to give equal opportunities to everybody who wants to play the game cricket. But I think beyond that, I think we're at a stage in 2018 we must get the best coming through to represent this country with dignity and with perfection. And if there's 7 black cricketers in this country who deserve to be in our national team, terrific. The country will support them. I just hope it starts to disappear, and let's look at everybody and give them equal opportunity to get to the top.
It's not, you know, it's very difficult. You are there. And we will, again, as I said, look at what you need to put in place to make sure that it works. But I am also disappointed, like you are, that in 2018, we still have issues. You know, following this incident, for instance, the Minister of Sport, Thokozile Xhasa, also commented on the Villiers' walkout in that studio. And I suppose she did so because there's an incident that happened at the Wanderers Rugby Club as a result of the Roodepoort Club. They attacked the players and they attacked the parents. And we also had the comments of the Wanderers chairperson. Let's hear what he's got to say.
The ref is talking to us like dogs, and if we don't stop this game, there's probably going to end up being a fight. Then the K word was thrown around. We won't accept that at Wanderers, and we will not accept that in this country.
And that's Lindy Mgadi, the chairperson of the Wanderers Club. I just want to deal with issues at the local level before, again, we broaden the subject. How do you feel when you see something? And I know, I mean, the Wanderers is your home, literally. You've spent a lot of time, and you probably are one of the people who are supporting the development of sport in Joburg, and it happens mostly at the Wanderers.
I think people will just take a deep breath in and reflect. What could have happened to this country? You know, there could have been a revolution in this country. Thank God it never happened. So we got a country with huge potential. And I say again, it's really up to all of us, black and white, get together and forge a new united South Africa where there's equality, where there's decency, where you treat people with respect. I think that's the most important thing. You've got to treat people with respect, give them equal opportunity, and let's move forward and harvest all our potential and energy to make this a great country, which it should be.
You know, I think there's an expectation on the majority of black people that transformation should happen and should have happened long time ago now, 24 years into democratic South Africa. But it appears there are some individuals and communities for that matter who still do not accept that this change should happen. And it seems to be happening in rugby more than anywhere else. I may be wrong, but that's what seems to be.
Let me tell you the problem in cricket, because that's always been my passion. It's been worked out that for decades today, most of our top cricketers come from 30 schools. That's it. You go to the townships, and I was very involved, as you know, in trying to develop young cricketers there. There's a serious problem there. They don't have the proper facilities. They don't have the coaches. They don't have grass nets. They don't have covers. They don't have facilities. It's not their fault. This is the legacy of apartheid. How are you going to give those cricketers an opportunity to come through? They can't. So what we are doing now in Johannesburg and Pretoria, and I'm embarking on a new program with the administrators there to go to certain schools in Johannesburg, Verenigde Krugersdorp, Pretoria.
Okay, well, let's pause right there, and we'll pick up on that thought and then talk about cricket and your life and times in cricket. Dr. Ali Bacher is with us on the Modise Network. We'll be talking to him in a moment.